Hey guys, welcome back to Don't Forget the Art. I am so excited that you are here, and I am really excited about this project because we're going to be working on our next project for our ancient art projects. And so we're going to be working on our Greek vases. All right, and why are we working on Greek vases? Well, we're working on Greek vases because as we're going to learn about with the Renaissance period, they went back to Roman and Greek periods to get inspiration for the artwork that really helped to inspire the Renaissance period. This is the one that I've already made with my kiddos. I have not painted it yet. I am going to try to talk as fast as I can because I will let you know that this is going to be a pretty in-depth project. So just a heads up, FYI, it's probably going to be a 2-day, or you may even want to split it up between 2 weeks. And that's another reason why I did some, split up the art movement or history of art projects, if you will, um, every other week, and then put, kind of a fun or seasonal project in between the two, art history projects, is because this way, if you don't want to do the, fun art projects or whatever, or this one takes a little bit longer, you have 2 weeks to do it. Remember when we were in art classes in school, you usually didn't finish your projects in one sitting. That was kind of rare. So just an FYI, this one's going to take you a little bit longer, okay? Now, I am using Crayola Air Dry Clay, okay? You can find this pretty much anywhere, but they come in two kinds. This that's kind of a white, or I mean, I would even call it more of an off-white kind of creamy color. And there is Terra Cotta. Now we're going to paint these, so that would be why it's going to be a two-part project. This we actually did well, less than 48 hours ago, about 48 hours ago, and it's dry. The next morning it was pretty dry. I guess it depends upon where you are, how dry your house is, et cetera, et cetera. So, you could potentially do it the next day. I don't know if it would be as something where you could do it in the morning and it would be dry enough to paint by afternoon, after you get done with your schoolwork or anything like that. Again, probably depends upon where you are, how dry your house is, et cetera, et cetera. You can use terracotta because we're going to paint it in kind of the Greek style vases, and you may want to look at and Google search some Greek style vases. I did not do that here yet. I am going to do that when we paint them, but that'll also give you some of the ideas of the shapes. Now, one thing I didn't put on here that I could have would have been some of those handles, but a lot of times Greek vases have this kind of opening, kind of an hourglass shape to it. And so, you can do whatever you want. You'll see my kids in a little while. They did more of kind of a pot. I'm going to let you know too, this project is going to take patience, okay, as you're going to see. So let's dig into it. So that one I did in the white. Now this one is terracotta, and my thinking for the terracotta was it would be pretty easy because you don't have to do as much painting. You can just use that natural terracotta color and then just paint the black negative painting around it. However, one thing that you should be aware of that we found out the hard way with the terracotta clay is that it is I don't know how to say potent, but I mean it's going to get your hands kind of terracotta colored as well. So what I did for my kids and I is I just took this clay and I divided it up into quarters. There's 4 of us here, including me and my 3 boys, and so I just divided it into quarters and figured we would get some decent sized pots out of it. What you choose to do is entirely up to you. I'm going to let you know if you want something that's of decent size, you're probably going to have to do a quarter to a third. You're going to probably want to start with a base. And what I did with this to teach my kids, I mean, you could do a pinch pot type pot. Those are obviously totally okay if they're a little bit smaller. For my kids, I taught them the coil pots. So the pinch pot theory is you just take your your clay, and you just kind of pinch it into and form it into the clay, and that will work. It's going to be a little difficult to get, different kind of curves to it, but you could do it. It's going to take patience. Pretty much anything that you do with this is going to take patience. So I made mine into a disc, and then I did it in coils. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few of them. And this is what my little kid liked. He loves snakes, so he enjoyed kind of making the worm-like things with his hands. And it's a fun project for kids. It's very, definitely very tactile. I love working with clay. I always did when I was a kid. Kind of like my art therapy, if you will. But you're going to put the coil on, and then you don't have to do it all at once. I did not. I put my coils together first and then worked on kind of smoothing out that ridge there. Let me see if I can get it a little bit clearer so that you can see that there. So obviously that coil on the base is going to make, that ridge. You definitely don't want that there, or you may not want it there. Some people might like that there. But if you're going to paint it, it's certainly going to be easier to paint it with any kind of design or anything if you have it smoothed out. So that's what you're going to do. So I am going to work on that. I will let you, watch me obviously here. But I'm going to speed it up because, this is obviously going to take a little while to do this. And I don't think you're going to want to sit and watch me do the whole thing in real time. It won't take long. It's just, you're not going to want to sit and watch me do it for that long. You're going to want to get to your project. So I am going to do this, and I will see you on the other side of completion. Okay guys, so here I am making my pot, and this was, I guess might be one of the most time consuming things. I will let you know too, I am using parchment paper. That's what I have my pot on top of. Once I have my coils together, I smooth out the clay. I did add some extra clay. This pot that I made for you was a little bit bigger than my other one, so it did require a little bit more clay, and I had it, so I might as well use it. The smoothing out is going to take the longest part of it, but otherwise it should be a fun project for you to do. Okay guys, so I am back. These have had, or this has had a couple more days to dry, or a couple days to dry since I made this for you, and this is what I've got. Okay, now again, not perfect, but it gives you the idea of a Greek vase, and it'll give you and your kids the opportunity to just get your hands dirty and play around with clay. I don't know. For me, it's sometimes that tactile stuff. Especially if you've got a tactile kid, or maybe you are too, it just feels good sometimes to play around with stuff. Now, again, this is air dry clay that you'll probably be using. That's what I'm using. So it's not the sturdiest. I mean, it's pretty good quality. Crayola doesn't really make too much that isn't, but you're going to want to make sure if you do these handles that you make them thicker, that you spend some extra time to really connect them and things like that, okay? So this one, if I was had the Terra Cotta, again, remember when you're playing with it, it's going to get all over your hands and everything, so you're going to want to not touch anything, get to the bathroom, wash it off right away. If I was just doing the Terra Cotta colored one, you wouldn't have to paint anything. You could go straight to, the black or other colors that you want. I am going to use this one. This is the original that I made. Oh, wait a minute. This is Gabriel's. I have to go get mine. So I am going to show you here first some images that I pulled up online. Now, usually I am all about telling you to go Google search for projects and ideas. I am going to forewarn you, as one mom to another, that if you're going to go online for Greek vase, sometimes the Greeks and Romans were known for decorating their items in a manner that you might not want your children to see it, if I can say that as plainly as that. Okay, there may be some images on there, you know, granted they're drawings, but that you wouldn't want for your children to see. So use discretion when you're going in and Google searching Greek vase images. But this I pulled up. Now it's not your computer, it's me. My printer obviously needs new ink, and my apologies. I'm just doing this quickly. But usually it would have, you know, black, reds, oranges, and yellows as the background, or, you know, the oranges, yellows, and reds as the background. And then they would fire over it, putting this kind of black, like shiny glazing on their pots. So it can have images of people. A lot of times there's fight scenes. That you could do, you know, the Greek gods and goddesses, if you're, you know, into that kind of thing. But, you know, this is just a very simple, you know, man and woman. It's a recreation, as you can see, there's a tag here, but it's a recreation of the original. They also did things with just simple designs. So, you know, if you don't want to get as intact as people, but again, the people are very, very simply drawn, you know, loose garments and everything. You know, not too difficult. But if you wanted to get a little bit more interesting, this was, again, the colors aren't showing up the best, but it's a yellow background, and then they use orange and black for the details. Again, recreation of, you know, Greek vase. This one is the one I was going to try, and it's a yellow background with this kind of profile of a lady. And I thought this, I thought it was just really pretty, you know, and again, just kind of these geometric shapes to it. So if you're a little intimidated by the idea of doing people, profiles are pretty fun and easy. You know, they're not, maybe not as intimidating, so that would work. But also some of these geometric shapes. And it, you don't, I mean, it's just fun. You know, if you want to stick to period, you'd want to pick out those kind of colors. What I'm going to use here is this. It's a liquid acrylic, yellow medium, and this permanent black. Okay, and I'm going to use it for, oh, here it is, for this one. This one's mine, that I did, and I'm going to try it in, to put, you know, a lady, something like this on it. I'm going to paint this whole thing yellow first. Okay, even though most of it's going to be covered up with, you know, the black, I'm just going to cover it, or at least, you know, most of it with the yellow. Maybe I'll just put it where the face is going to be, and then I can go over it with black. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it in kind of fast forward, so you don't have to watch all of that, and I will show you the final product when I am done. All right, so here it is. Here's my final product. Now, it's not perfect, and I do have some life things going on here in the background today, so I kind of had to rush through this. So I would definitely recommend taking your time when painting it. And you don't have to do, you know, Greek thing, like I said. You can do a design, or just color it one color, or stripes, or splotches, or, you know, whatever you want. While I was doing this, my youngest comes in and says, "Mom, I don't want to do it yellow. I want to do it blue." So you know what? I mean, again, it's all about having fun and, you know, just learning in the process. It does not have to be super strict. Now, the other thing I will let you know that I noticed as I was doing this, and I can even see now, this kind of pulling away. Now, I have done clay. I've used this clay before, and I've painted it before, not with these paints, just regular craft paints. I think they're called like Apple Barrel or something like that is sometimes the brand. I think the brand that I used with it before. I also didn't let this sit. Again, I'm trying to rush through to get some things done, and so that I can get this video uploaded for you. So I would definitely recommend that you let it sit for longer than I did. So this may wind up being a couple-day project. Again, you can just have fun with it. It doesn't have to be super serious, but you probably want to let that paint set even after. So, I mean, or you just leave it like this. It certainly doesn't have to be painted. Again, it's just the act of having fun and creating and making something awesome. All right, and maybe learning a little history, art history in the meantime. Um, or having this kind of go along with maybe what you're learning in history. Who knows? But anywho, I hope you guys have fun. I can't wait to see what you create. Make sure if you do this project, if you could please post it on our page. We would love to see what you guys are doing. I love seeing you mamas post your pictures of what you guys are making and your kiddos are making. It's a lot of fun. Thanks a lot, guys. I hope you have a great week and happy creating.